And it came down to this. The priest had played N'Zoth the Corruptor, I was able to clear his board, felt good, using the Death Spite there just to mop up. But of course, even after I'd played Martyr, the priest was able to clear the board, Dragonfire Potion, felt bad, and all I was left with was a 2/3 Crocodile sitting there looking sad on the board. And it all came down to the Stonehill Defender. Anley Armorsmith, not a bad pickup. Going into Fatigue gives me the armor gain. 3 minions on board. What can the priest do now? All of our hopes are on these 3 minions on the board. The question is, can they stick? And of course, given my luck, no, there's Sylvanas. He'd played N'Zoth, but he'd held back the Sylvanas. And of course, if in doubt, ignore Sylvanas. Go face, hope for the best, and just see what happens. Trying to calculate here if there's any way for me to win this with any kind of lethal. There's the third, yes, count them, 1, 2, 3, there's the third Ungoro pack. Nothing I can do now. Conceding is the only option. Feels bad, but a really fun game. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards that the priest played. Look at the left-hand side. If you're viewing this video on a small screen, the chances are you can't even read the names of the cards that were played because there were so many. He opened 3 Ungoro packs. He was a Reno Jackson N'Zoth Death Rattle questing priest. In other words, his deck was chock full of value, and I was really proud of the fact that I was able to take him to Fatigue though. If you look on the right, you can see that I'd used all of my cards up, no options left, yet we were able to last for 20 minutes, go to Fatigue, push him to the limit, and I was really quite proud of that. So what deck am I playing? Well, it's a Control Warrior, and specifically, if you look at the hero power, it's an old school Control Warrior. Yes, tank up for 4 armor every turn gives you the clue. Justicar True Heart is at the center of this deck, and it is StrifeCro's Control Warrior for Wild Mode with Justicar and N'Zoth the Corruptor with Death Rattle minions. So why am I playing this deck? Well, a viewer on my channel, Jarrett Huber, I really hope I pronounced your name correctly. I really apologise if I've got it wrong. But Jarrett, he said to me a couple of days ago, I love your videos. I was wondering if you would do a video on Control Warrior in Wild Mode. The deck is in a weird spot right now, and not many people are playing it. I wonder if you have any ideas. That was Jarrett's question. Well, Jarrett, thank you very much for the positive feedback. And in regards to Control Warrior on Wild Mode, well, I consulted with StrifeCro's stream, and this is a deck that StrifeCro has been playing, and it's, as I say, an old school Control Warrior. Justicar True Heart is at the centre of it. It's different to Quest Warrior. The Warrior Quest is not played in this deck. The Quest Warrior aims to often get the quest completed as quickly as possible, playing lots of taunt minions to get in the way of opposing enemy minions. Really good against aggro, but can last the long game when you get the Ragnaros hero power and just start throwing 8 damage to enemy minions or to your enemy's face. This deck is different. As I say, no quest is played. This deck has a different strategy. It relies on N'Zoth the Corruptor, firstly, to get value in the late game. It also relies on that tank up hero power. So you armor up for 4 every single turn, get to the point where your opponent can't kill you because you've got so much armor. You deal with all of their threats with Brawl and with your other removal effects. Then you just last into the late game, play N'Zoth the Corruptor and just laugh. That is the strategy behind this deck. Let's have a look at it in action. Okay, going up against a Druid, I'm actually going to keep Deathspite, and I'm pondering keeping Brawl. Yes, it feels slow. Ideally, I'd be looking for Fiery War Axe. However, I would suspect... Oh, there's the War Axe, aka the Win Axe. Now, I would suspect that this is Aggro Druid, or Token Druid, or Egg Druid, and therefore I think keeping the Brawl is good, because you can just get out-aggroed very, very early and then get Savage Roared to death. So keeping Brawl is good. Deathspite was kept because I didn't have a Fiery War Axe, but now I've got the War Axe. But having two weapons in a game like this is really quite good. Now, Haunted Creeper, I could pop it, I could use the War Axe and pop it, but then he'd probably buff the minions that come out of it. You'd get two spiders out of it, two spectral spiders. So maybe I don't want him to do that. So I'm just going to armor up and wait. So a bit of a slow start for me. I know some people would have killed the Haunted Creeper with the War Axe just because to play around Mark of Yesharaj. But now that he's buffed it with Mark of the Wild, I'm not going to leave it alive because it does 3 attack. 3 attack is quite threatening. Better that we remove it. And of course we're setting up now with the Deathspite for the Whirlwind, the AoE, to kill his Spectral Spiders. So he could play another minion here, and then maybe Hero Power the face, but then his other minion dies, the spiders die, or he could buff the board. And I have a strong suspicion that he's probably going to buff the board because it plays around that Whirlwind AoE from Deathspite. Of course, I have Ravaging Ghoul in hand, so I can still deal with a buffed board, providing the minions just get +1/+1, and that's what they're getting. Okay, so we are going to commit the Ravaging Ghoul here. We are going to clear the board. Floating 1 mana feels bad, but I think this is fine. Why clear that board? Would it have been better to have waited with the Deathspite attack? No, I just want to make sure the board is clear as much as possible. I think the only time I'd hold back from clearing a board with the Deathspite is if I knew I'd be getting more value. It's not guaranteed. He just played an egg. So, best to clear this egg too. Because leaving eggs on board is never a good thing. Eggs get buffed. We don't like that. So we're actually going to commit Fiery War Axe and Execute here to kill off the Nerubian. Yeah, so should I have held back with the Deathspite attack? Bloodsail Corsair. No, I'm still reflecting on it and I'm still thinking about it, but I'm happy with the play that I made. We were able to remove immediate threats there with the Deathspite and the Ghoul, and I think that mattered a lot. We have Brawl still. And Brawl is one of those cards where you may want to just wait with and hold back on because you do want to get as much value as you can from it. He's just going wide here, isn't he, now? 3 minions on board. Now you have to think about Savage Roar. Can Savage Roar kill me? It can't. So we feel safe for now. Paladin Shredder is decent. It will contest those low attack, low health minions, and when it dies, we get another minion on board to contest more of his minions. Yes, it's all about board control. Okay, he's ignoring the Shredder. Okay, Golika Crawler. Oh dear, Soul of the Forest. Soul of the Forest is a play around Brawl, because if we brawl the board away and his minions die, he gets some 2/2 trees that pop out of those minions. Don't ask me how that works, technically. How trees pop out of other minions makes no sense, but yeah, we need to kill his minions here. Get those trees, those 2/2 trees, out of his minions. And then we can brawl. safely. So Dr. Boom and the boom bots are a good way around that. Those boom bots will hopefully do work, kill a few of those bodies on the board. Let's see what he's got. Does Savage Roar kill me here? No, it doesn't. But I think double Savage Roar would kill me. And do you know what? That is always a possibility. I've lost games to double Savage Roar. I've won games with double Savage Roar. And it happens more often than you'd think. There's Living Mana. Thank God we kept the Brawl in the mulligan. If we hadn't, I'm not saying this game would be over now, but we'd be in serious danger of dying to Savage Roar. So, yeah. Brawl here, pretty decent. We got that last little tree out of the minion, so hopefully this Brawl is going to be nice and clean. Only one minion should survive. Yep, just one minion. And the Stonehill Defender for good measure. There's the Bog Creeper. Now we're getting into a position where we can really think about stabilising. We have the Shield Maiden. We have Armor Gain and Shield Block. And we have slowed him right down. He can't even attack. That's brilliant. And we can Shield Slam that 3-2 if needed. But let's Shield Maiden here. +5 armor, and yeah, he sees that this game is over. Once we reach that stabilization point, there's very little they can do to come back. Okay, feels good. Beating an Egg Druid. Now let's look at this next game against a Paladin. Now, against the Paladin, keeping the Ravaging Ghoul is good because of muster for battle. But we've drawn two of our late game cards, Shield Maiden, Sylvanas, or mid game, depending on how you want to quantify it. We didn't draw any of our weapons, which feels really bad. And now the Secret Synergy starts. This is a real problem because we've got nothing to do on turn 2. This is the drawback of playing a control deck. You play lots of expensive late game cards, sometimes you just don't draw valid early game. Now, I am playing the shield block here rather than the Ravaging Ghoul because, yes, the Ghoul is a body that would be on the board, potentially contesting his Secret Keeper, but I'm really looking for cards like Brawl now. I think in order to win this game, I'm going to have to Brawl his board away. The pressure from him is just going to be very, very intense. That's good. However, okay, it's not Noble Sacrifice. Noble Sacrifice would have been really bad for us there. But Avenge is bad? Redemption is also bad. Wow, okay. So the pressure is still back on. If he's got more secrets now, we're in trouble. No secrets? Just attacking the face? Okay. Still the pressure is on. There's the Brawl. It's consideration for brawling. But I think this is better. Sleep with the Fishers kills all of his minions. Well, actually it kills the Juggler and the Creeper. Spawns the Spectral Spiders. Now Death Spike finishes off his board. This is fine, and I'm going to save the Brawl. The reason I'm saving the Brawl is because there are going to be other targets that he places down on the board that need brawling. Muster for battle there, he's seen the Ravaging Ghoul, so he thinks he's safe. Oh wow, he's tanking it. That's interesting. Huh. So, Sylvanas is the play here, and we're going to kill a dude. Why are we killing a dude and not going face? Because he can buff the dudes up, the dudes can get poison effects, and all sorts of weird shenanigans can happen. You want to keep the board as clear as possible. Also, you know, he gets an easy clear on the ghoul anyway. But by playing Sylvanas here, we're forcing him to kill it. Sylvanas is not something you want to leave on a board. So look at what Sylvanas actually accomplished here. She's cleared the board. He had to throw in the weapon. Sylvanas stole a dude. Dude had to trade into a dude. That's pretty good. And all he's left with is shielded mini-bot. Now, I'm not going to play the Shield Maiden. And I'll tell you why. Shield Maiden, Shield Slam is a really important combo. And I want to keep that combo alive. I have 2 brawls in my hand. He can fill the board as much as he wants. I don't care.
None of your business.
But I care about that, because that's a big minion that's just drawn 3 secrets out of his deck. Wow, that's bad news for us, actually. Now, Shield Maiden, Shield Slam does 6 damage, but we're not going to play it yet. We're still going to hold on, we're still going to wait. Why? Because I'm scared of Redemption. We've already seen 1 copy of Redemption. I'm scared of the 2nd copy. That Mysterious Challenger would come back to life and would be sad. Oh dear. Spike Ridge Steed is bad news. He's doing a lot of damage to our face. We're in trouble now. So, what do we do here? Do we brawl? Well, we attack first because we trigger his secrets. I want to see if there's a redemption here. I'd rather we get redemption on the 2-1 than on either of those other 2 minions. There's the Avenge. And there's the redemption. Okay, now, this is a turn where we have to brawl. I don't see any other way around it. Shield Maiden armor up is 7 armor. That does not kill the challenger. Otherwise, that would have been an option. So a bit of calculation needed there. Brawl is the play. And now we cross our fingers, we pray and we hope that the RNG is on our side. That is a really good outcome. That's a good outcome too. And I'm not going to shield slam the 2-1, even though it kills off our 3-2. I'm going to save that Shield Maiden, Shield Slam combo for something bigger. So, N'Zoth the Corruptor gets us our Sylvanas back, it gets us a Shredder back. That's not really enough, is it? So, he saw the brawl, and now he thinks he's safe, and he's going wide. Wide on the board with Dr. 7. So now, Shield Maiden, Shield Slam really comes in handy. We get the 5 armor from the Shield Maiden, +2 from the hero power, 7. We can kill Dr. Boom. See, I knew there was a reason we saved the Shield Maiden for all of those turns. It's worked out pretty well. So now the boom bots are the X factor here. If he's thinking about getting rid of that Shield Maiden, he may start by trading a boom bot in, seeing where it lands.
Who am I? None of your business.
Okay. Interesting. And he presumably will just go face here. Then, if he doesn't want to kill her... No, he doesn't want to kill her. He goes to the face. Fair enough. Yes, and that really is astonishing. So, we test for the secret here. See if it's Noble Sac. Yes, it is Noble Sacrifice. Even if it wasn't, bumping into his taunt is a good idea, because if the taunt survives, it would survive at 1 health, and then we could have used Ravaging Ghoul to mop it up after the brawl. So, who's gonna survive the brawl? It's Boombot. Oh, and that's really good too. RNG is not going his way in this game. Okay, the 6-drop is fine. We'll take the Direhorn. And now we are looking to stabilise. So like in the previous game against the Egg Druid, we were able to stabilise with Armageddon and then he just conceded. Let's see what else the Paladin has. Now this is like a mid-range Secrets Paladin, so there's going to be more late-game threats in his deck than there were in the Druid deck. So we can expect Tyrion. If he's playing a Shredder, I'm expecting N'Zoth the Corruptor. So this game may not be over just yet. Bash really coming in handy. I really like Bash as a card. I think it's brilliant. It deals very cleanly with threats like Secret Keepers, Northshire Clerics, Paladin Shredders. I mean, with the Shredder they get the minion that comes out, obviously. And that totem is actually quite annoying. So let's see what happens here. Justicar has been played. We are going to be tanking up in this game, and our stabilisation is going to continue. Okay, I stand corrected. Justicar just died. Of course! Of course she did. My luck. My RNG. Anyway, let's work this out. Ravaging Ghoul kills two things. But we may as well draw a card at the same time, right? Seems sensible. Just thinking about popping the shield. No, we'll let the Ghoul pop the shield. And we'll just go face. Okay, 10 armor. We're on that road now. We're on that road to infinite armor. What's he gonna do? 11 cards left in my deck. And 10 cards for him. The only thing that would scare me now is Tyrion, I think. But even then, I think we can deal with it. But okay, Coghammer, sure. There's a Shredder.
Reporting for duty.
There's Bash. Okay, so we just do what we can here. Shield is good. Actually pondering Bash, but we'll save our Bash. We'll trade in to the mini-bot. And we're just going to play the Shredder. There was a strong consideration of a tank up there, but actually now the roles are reversed. I'm the aggressor now. I'm pushing the damage. I'm putting the pressure on him. And with him being in top deck mode, we don't even fear equality consecration. So we're okay here. I'm actually going to kill Lothar because Lothar is a problem for my 5/5 taunt. I want to keep my taunt healthy. Just so it can keep hitting face for 5 every turn. And I believe we have lethal now, so it's pretty much over for him. Oh wow, maybe it's not over. Ragnaros here. If he kills a 5/5, and he does, it's still over. Because we have Bash. See, I told you Bash was a good card. It can, as you can see here, it can help to finish a game. Right, so taking down the mid-range Secrets Paladin. Alright, next game is against Shaman. And I'm just pondering here what to keep, if anything at all. In this matchup, I really want the Fiery War Axe. So the trouble with Shaman matches is, what are we facing? Are we facing Aggro Shaman with Tunnel Trog and Totem Golem and Flame with Faceless? Are we facing Token Shaman with Bloodlust? Are we facing Jade Shaman? Are we facing Control Shaman with Kel'Thuzad and White Eyes and N'Zoth the Corruptor? Murloc Shaman, what are we facing? There's actually lots of viable builds in Wild Mode, and we need to be conscious of that. So, bit of a slow start, as you'd expect with my deck. Thankfully, yeah, he's not playing a minion that I'd need to kill just yet, and that would have been a problem due to the lack of a Fiery War Axe. So here the Acolyte comes down. Now, Acolyte of Pain. He needs to stop my card draw. I mean, that's one of the ways I win this game. I draw enough cards where I have options in my hand that let me deal with his board. So, is that a hexable target? Is it a Devolve target, for example? Okay, maybe it isn't. I was really hoping for the 1/1 totem there, which would have traded beautifully into the Acolyte. So we have options here. We can use all of our mana and just play Deathspite and kill something from the board. Probably going to kill the 1/2, just because it can attack. The other consideration is the Spell Power totem, that maybe I should have killed that. But there isn't much on my board at the moment that would die to Maelstrom Portal. You know, I don't have a big board, so we don't fear the Spell Power totem. That's my logic anyway. I don't know if it's correct, but that's my logic. Okay, we can trade the Acolyte into that. That's good. He's playing this very slowly, but seeing what he's done so far, he is a token shaman, right? He's a bloodlust shaman. That has to be what he is. Question is, he has 2 mana. What's he going to do? Is he going to play a minion into my Deathspite? What's he going to do? Or is he just going to pass here? Oh, he's playing a minion. Sure. Great. We'll kill that. Coin? Flame Tongue? Wow. And he's going to give me 2 cards. Cheers. Thank you. Interesting. But of course, because he's got the healing totem up, both totems get healed. Ha. Maybe that was quite clever. Now my Deathspite has to hit into the Flame Tongue totem, potentially. Or I could bash it. No, this is fine. Let's do this. Let's throw the Deathspite in while we still can. We don't know if he runs Weapon Destruction in his deck, so we wouldn't want him to top deck an Ooze, for example. So this is fine. Sludge Belcher is big body. Also a Devolve target or a Hex target. And so we'll see. We'll see if he's got Hex or Devolve. If he's got Hex, I'm sure he'd use it now. For Devolve, he may wait a turn or 2. Wow, Jade Lightning's so good for him there. 5 damage. Exactly what he needed. Although, there is a 1/2 slime on the board, and that is why Sludge Belcher is, in my opinion, still the best taunt in the entire game. That double-layered body does make life incredibly awkward, because here we can use it to trade into the 1/1, so we get a kill.
Welcome to the Grand Tournament, Champion.
So essentially that Belcher has negated his Jade Lightning entirely from the spell and the body. It's negated both the spell and the body, and the Ooze still survived. Yeah, that's how good Belcher is. Evolve, though. Ha. Wolfram Shield. Huh. Well, this is interesting. Presumably this is a brawl turn here. We can't let that board live. And I forgot that attacking face with Bolf on board does damage to Bolf. Maybe I should have attacked into a minion, another minion instead. I don't know. And actually, we get the best luck out of that brawl. Ancient Watcher surviving. He can't attack with it unless he's got Silence Effect. Now, we don't know if he runs Owl or Spellbreaker. Highly unlikely. So, this is pretty good. Having the Ancient Watcher on board, it's 1 less body out of 7 that can interact with Bloodlust. And that's actually really crucial. It's really important. I didn't feel like committing Sylvanas there. Or even Dr. Boom for that matter. I just want to, if I can, I just want to remove minions from his board that are awkward. And a 4 health minion is quite awkward. Alakir, though, is a problem, maybe. And he's just opting for the 6 damage from Alakir. He wants to shred the armor. He understands that in order to get a win here with Bloodlust, he needs my armor shredded. And tank up is, if you can get it early enough, is just purely one of the ways you win the game. I should have drawn first, I think. Maybe that was a misplay. I don't know. But well, look, we're at 40 health with that 10 armor. What's he going to do? What is he going to do now? We're in such a good position. So yeah, because of tank up, I believe that this brand of warrior is favoured in this kind of a matchup. Justicar True Hearts is, as I say, such a good card in the right circumstances. Now we can play Dr. 7. And we are pressing that button every single turn, putting ourselves out of Bloodlust range. And actually, one of the Devolve. One of the key objectives will be to put ourselves out of double Bloodlust range, because that's a possibility in this game. I mean, if he has 6 minions on board that can attack with Bloodlust, because Ancient Watcher not being usable, 6 times 3 is what? Is 18. So, theoretically, he can do 18 damage with 1 Bloodlust and do double that with a second copy of Bloodlust on turn 10, or with 10 mana, I should say. So, yeah, we need to put ourselves out of range, and if we can do that, we're fine. He can't kill us. Sylvanas here. Yeah, if in doubt, play Sylvanas. Let's see if he's got the Hex. Well, we've seen Devolve, so we're feeling somewhat safe here. Oh, Direhorn Hatchling is so good. And because we've seen Devolve once, we feel safe enough to commit both Sylvanas and the Hatchling to the board. The Hatchling synergizing really well with N'Zoth the Corruptor. So, okay, there it is. Feels bad. But that feels really, really good. That's Pyros, who now will synergize with N'Zoth the Corruptor. Huh. We have now seen both Devolves. We feel quite safe. The only thing we're concerned about now is Hex. Although I wonder if he even plays Hex. So that is a valid question. He's packing a lot into this deck. You know, he's got his Jade minions and Jade cards. He's got Thing from Below. He's got the small tokens. Does he even play Hex? That's an important question. Okay, how do we get through this? This is complicated, actually. Way of Brawl. Do we use it? I don't think we do when we have Shield Slam and Bash that can both be used here. And maybe I should have spent a bit more time thinking this through. Although our 4/4 gets a nice trade with his 4/4, which is reasonable. Fiery War Axe goes nicely into his taunt. Actually, I'm going to use the Pyros. I'm happy to take 2 damage, 3 damage actually. No, because we want to kill the 3/3. Okay, so that's worked out okay. Yeah, it was kind of making that up as I went along there, but it worked out, right? Pyros is on board. Okay, I don't care about that. Okay, Patches is in charge now, sure. Okay, fine. We'll just get some value trades with Pyros, kill his minions, and yeah, it's all good. because of his Devolve value, we're really not going to get that much value out of N'Zoth in this game. So we're actually relying now on Pyros to get us our N'Zoth value. Let's see if he trades the patches into Pyros here. Can he kill the Shield Maiden? He can't. So, listen, he knows to get Pyros back. That back to him. So, but we're tanking up, we're armoring up now to the point where killing us is just going to be very, very difficult.
Race for impact.
And again, like in those previous games, we are not concerned about doing damage to his face. We're just concerned about controlling the board as best as we can. And in this situation, I guess it's stopping his card draw and preventing Bloodlust from getting significant value. Not that we need to worry, we're at 60 health. I mean, maybe I should have gone face. Maybe I should have used Pyros on the face. But that's not my style of play.
Battle detected.
Battle detected, okay. And now I think we're just toying with him, right? But basically, I'm desperate to get my N'Zoth the Corruptor played in this game, just for fun. I've never had I've never had Pyros off of N'Zoth before. And that trade that I made, I didn't need to do that. I just wanted to kill off Pyros, just to get a 10-10 down. We're just messing around now. We're not taking this seriously, because I don't think I can lose at 60 health. I really don't think I can lose. Am I being arrogant here? I mean, I guess I'm BMing him a little bit by playing like this, aren't I? The Jades are growing big, actually, so we do need to keep that in mind. So, here, we sacrifice our Chugga Chugga, and okay. I was actually tempted to put that into his spell power totem just to avoid hitting his face, just so I could get an excuse to play N'Zoth the Corruptor so he won't concede. Oh, he thinks he's still alive. Huh. Well, the correct play here would be 3-3 into 5-5, execute, and go 10 to the face. But I'm strongly considering not doing that. Because I want N'Zoth value before we end this game. And he hasn't conceded yet, which is quite interesting. Oh, is he going to evolve? Please do. Please evolve. Oh, okay. Oh, we can just do this. We can just trade. I don't want to end the game. Just gonna brawl. Oh, he knows he's dead, right? He knows he's dead, but oh, he wins the brawl. Wow. Okay. Sure. Oh, well, now maybe he thinks that I'm going to let him win. Maybe he thinks that... I'm hovering over this card, so I think I'm trying to get a message across to him by hovering over this card. I'm saying, don't concede. Let me play the card on the left. Please. Please don't concede. Let me play it. And he's let me do it. Wow. Do we want to drag this out even more? We could play a Stonehill? No. And that is a board. Wow. Double Pyros. Yeah, and it's over. Wow. Well, that was a really, really fun game, and I think the lessons there were clear. Devolve can get you killed, and Pyros into N'Zoth the Corruptor is just insanely fun to play. Okay, so StrifeCro's, let me try that again. StrifeCro's Control Warrior. Great deck. Fantastic deck. The armor up facility really, really helps you against aggressive classes. Brawl is a massive help. Yeah, I think this is very effective against aggro. It's decent against mid-range. The issue is against control. Now, yes, you have N'Zoth the Corruptor to make a comeback against control decks. Yes, you have Justicar Trueheart to armor up to infinity, so maybe they can't kill you. But against control classes, the timing of your brawls, the timing of your board clears has to be precisely calculated with a lot of thought put into it. You saw at the start of this video the priest with 3 Ngoro packs outvalued me, and maybe that's where this deck struggles when it comes to value in the late game. Once your N'Zoth has gone, maybe what we need is Elise in this deck to get the golden monkey, but then you don't want that either because, well, you want to play your Death Rattle minions, right? And you want your N'Zoth value, and the golden monkey could negate that. Well, maybe you want the other Elise to put the Ngoro pack in your deck. So maybe that's something I need to look into including. StrifeCro, when he created this deck, obviously didn't think it was necessary, and I think this video has proven that across enough games, this deck does perform well on the wild mode ladder. So I certainly think it's worth giving it a try. So this whole video really was dedicated to Jarrett Huber. I hope you enjoyed it, Jarrett. And maybe you want to give the StrifeCro deck a try and maybe tell me what you think in the comments section. So thanks very much for joining me, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon for more Hearthstone action.